welcome to the Romance Track here at Continual. I'm your host, Gail C. Martin and Morgan Brice, and today we are talking about pride romance, gay romance, LGBTQ romance, all of the wonderful colors of falling in love. But before we start, let's let our wonderful panelists introduce themselves, starting with Jamie.
Hello, I'm Jamie Garner. I run under the pen names J.B. Garner and Amelia Quantrell. And I'm professional author, professional editor, and I'm a trans woman and a lesbian. So this is Super Pride Month for me.
All right.
That's awesome.
Merrill.
Hi, I'm Ro. I like to write stories for just about everyone. I'm excited to be here as a genderqueer bisexual person, and I am happy to celebrate with all of you.
All right. Chantal.
Hi, I'm Chantal, and I actually write MM predominantly, but I just wrote my first sapphic, which is, oh, sorry, the cat just
Yeah.
which is in our The Love Is All. So I'm like really excited about that. And I'm so sorry. I'm excited to be here.
It's not a panel without pets. I mean, really. And the pets know we want to see them, especially their tails.
Yeah.
Elle.
Hey, I'm Elle Keaton, and I write predominantly romance as well. I guess I like to also say I just write queer. Like, you can pretty much assume that most of my characters are queer. I'm not a label person, so I don't go around telling all my characters what they are to my readers. I figure they can kind of figure it out. But so yeah, I write. But most of my pairings, my main character pairings are and I love what I do.
Very good. JL.
Hi, I'm JL Gribble. I'm queer if you squint. I don't know how else to describe that. I started writing urban fantasy and alternate history, and there has always been queer representation in my books. And then because I was reading predominantly queer romance, it kind of became inevitable that I would start writing it, and I started that journey this year. And I have one book out and more to come already, so it's been exciting.
Very good.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yeah, Liv.
Hi, I'm Liv Rancourt. I write historical and paranormal, sometimes both at the same time. I have my older child is trans masculine, my younger child is trans feminine, and so we are making a thing out of Pride this month as much as possible.
Very good. Arian.
You can see Arian is my pet name. But I write mostly queer paranormal romance, historical. I read queer romance in at least 2 languages, so that ended me here. Anyway, I'm still new, so little nervous.
Okay. PJ.
I'm PJ Allison. I'm a romance writer from Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm asexual, and so is my son. And I have one LGBT romance out, 3rd book in my Feathered Curtain series. It's about a trans man and a pansexual woman. And this is my cat, Marnie.
I warned you about my golden retriever puppy. This is Dax. I'm Gail Z. Martin and Morgan Brice. As Gail, I write epic and urban fantasy. As Morgan, I write urban fantasy, male paranormal romance, 6 different series, lots of different pairings. And even in my non-romance, there are plenty of LGBTQ characters. And they are all having a great time with friends and lovers. So let's talk a little bit about, do you have any books that especially happen during Pride Month or have a Pride theme? And I'm going to have to give him something else to chew on. But as I'm getting slightly mauled here, Jamie, tell us about your books and their connection to Pride as a holiday.
Well, I mean, it's I don't really do anything like that. Because Pride, as a queer person, is just, yes, it's a month of celebration, but it extends to everything. We have to take pride in who we are and who we really are and the people we love, that it's just, I don't do anything that's specifically themed.
Okay.
Just how it goes. I do lots of queer romance, but not themed specifically for that sort of thing.
Okay. Some folks have specific
sure.
themes or take in specific like holiday type. Great
Absolutely.
if you have it. Great if you don't. Ro.
Well, it just so happens, like Chantal mentioned, we had our Love Is All Volume 7 anthology came out yesterday, and I'm trying to think, but I'm pretty sure that this is the first time that I've actually put pride in a story. It's a sapphic romance called The Maiden and the Crone, and it's an age gap with a grad student who has one last project to do before she can finish her graduate degree, and she decides to go home and interview the town recluse who bought this crazy mansion, and everyone's kind of afraid of her. The kids all kind of make fun of her. And so she's determined to find out more about this crone to see if she is really that. And there's a pride celebration that happens at in the story.
Okay. Chantal.
Sorry. So you know what? It never even occurred to me to like write something that was pride themed. Like when you asked that, I was like, oh, that I never even thought of that. But yeah, my first sapphic story is in this Love Is All. Like I'm so excited about, because one of my girlfriends, she was going through a breakup, and so we were out having drinks. It was happy hour, and she was like, you should write a story about lesbian whose ex dates all of her friends. So I was like, okay, and so I ended up writing a story. It's actually about it's friends to lovers, but they're married to the same woman at the same time. So it was a lot of fun to write, and my friend enjoyed putting her 2 cents in.
Okay. JL.
I have only written 2 contemporary themes or contemporary set things, and one of them is done, so I can't make any changes, but the other one I'm still working on revisions on. And like as you said that, I was like, oh, this book takes place during summer, I should maybe mention pride. So I might sneak that in the like 5 minutes that I have before I have to upload the book.
Deadlines.
Elle.
I also have to admit that I don't usually include a lot of holidays, even if I write a holiday like December-ish fall time holiday. I generally leave it at holiday because it's such a touchy issue for a lot of queer people, and holidays kind of can be super suck. And yeah, pride's awesome. It is awesome. I have one book, it's in a novella series. It's called Love from a Stone, and he's probably my queerest character. But it also doesn't take place in June. So, I mean, I do love pride. I celebrate it hard. A lot of queer people in my life, but I haven't actually written about it.
Okay. Liv.
Oh boy. Well, yeah. Part of the reason I haven't done a lot, made much of pride in my work, is because most of my books have vampires or, some other form of paranormal creature that doesn't sort of lend itself to traditional holiday structure. That said, I'm in JL's boat, and I have the one I'm working on right now is set in June, and it could quite possibly stand a pride mention in there somewhere. So there.
Very good. Arian.
So I have to follow Liv because all my characters are kind of not human. And it happens in Korea, which means there's no mention of pride there. But maybe I could advertise and create a holiday in Korea for that. You're giving me ideas.
We aim to misbehave. BJ? Oh, you're muted.
Oops, sorry.
There you go.
It's roaring so loud. I'm scared that you won't be able to hear me. I don't have anything that has pride in it, but honestly has which features there goes my cat. I'm sorry, she flashed her butthole. But
She's a cat. It's the internet. It's Zoom. Of course
yeah,
she
she's
did.
got to do it. But anyway, honestly does not feature pride, and I don't have any books that feature pride, although I should, which is weird because honestly does kick off in June and it's a summer story, but you know, we're just starting to get pride down in Lunenburg County here, so it's a little bit different. So she moves down here from Alberta, and she to get away from her grandfather, because her grandfather is a bigoted jerk, to be blunt. And they when she meets Avery, she doesn't realize that she's met the love of her life. She just meets him by accident, so it's kind of weird. But no pride. I'm gonna have to add it to one of my later books because I am thinking about writing a sapphic romance sometime soon.
Okay. Well, then tell us about your latest book that is LGBTQ focused. Jamie?
Most, but I will restrain for the sake of the panel. Actually, the book I currently is on pre-order currently to come out in August. Songs and Sorcery. It's my first book as Amelia Quantrell. It's an epic fantasy story, but you know the main protagonist is pansexual. There's a lot of queer romance and love in it. It is basically a high fantasy detective story with Bella Redmayne is like a member of the City Watch. She is, you know, a junior detective, and someone has died in the very inn that she is having her night off in, while romancing several like of the bar patrons. Except this victim died from pleasure, and thus making it a particularly heinous and unusual crime that could only be committed by magic. And then we go from there. Lots of love, romance, several romantic partners, and then, you know, the ending has a lot to do with love.
Okay. Ro.
I also have a book up for pre-order that's coming out in August. Last summer, I participated in the Carnival of Mysteries shared world and had a blast with my story and wrote sort of an open ending. And the characters from that book are back in this year's book, but they're not the main focus. The book is called You Can Save Me, and the first book was called You Can Do Magic. And there's a bit of, I wouldn't say it's time travel. It's time works differently in the carnival. So while you spend what you think is a couple months or a year, it's actually been a different amount of time when you leave the carnival. So that plays a big part in the story. And it's a bit of a mystery. Also, my main characters are a detective who's been working cold cases for a long time, including one of a folk rock singer who disappeared in 1979 and who reappears in the present. And so it's been a bit of a, I wouldn't call it a slog because I've definitely enjoyed every minute of writing it. But after I sent it to my editor, she gave me an, oh, honey, 8-page editorial letter. So it's turned into the biggest rewrite of my career, but in a good way. It wasn't, none of it was bad. I don't like this. It was like, I don't know if the reader will buy this kind of thing. So I'm really excited about it now that I'm feel like I have a better handle on what's happening with it. So You Can Save Me is coming out August 21st, and it is available for pre-order right now.
Very good. Chantal.
Oh, and it's a gay romance. Yeah.
Okay. Chantal.
I also have a book up for pre-order that's coming out in August. And it's part of the which Elle and Liv are Elle and you, Gail, too. Oh my gosh, it's it's like, oh, there's so many of it. It's part of the Subpar Hero series. Yay! Which has been so much fun. And I have to say, I'm having so much fun reading the books.
Me too.
I just finished the third one, so I'm like, it's like I'm just it's a great time. And so it is it's called License to Chill, and it's male romance, and my subpar hero, his power is he can make ice cubes like out of thin air, so
That's the best.
I know, like, yeah. And so so I'm finishing that up, and I really am having a blast with it. He's protecting his best friend's baby brother, and so it's just been fun, although I keep changing things, which is what's been holding me up. I'm like, oh, I should do this. Oh, I should do this. But yeah, the Subpar Hero series it's been a blast. It's been a blast to be a part of it, but I'm loving reading it now that they're starting to come out. But mine comes out August 8th.
Awesome. Elle?
Hey, so I'm actually in the middle of writing 2 books, one of which was supposed to be done like 2 months ago. And like Ro, it is the biggest rewrite of my life. And I'm still mentally healthy, so that's okay. I can do this. And again, it wasn't that the book was bad. It was that I had to just move things around and change, and I'm almost done though. I'm so glad. And it comes out, sorry, I should have said it comes out June 20th. So I'm touching that, like I'm a little close, but luckily my editor is really cool and we're working kind of tandem on it and stuff. And so I can actually, like, as of today, I was like, okay, so I really don't have to cancel this. Because I don't want to. I just don't want to. So that's June. That's called Code Violation, and it's an romantic suspense, I like to call it. It's a 4th in a series that I really kind of call Gay Twin Peaks. It's got a little bit of like really low-key, super low-key paranormal, and this particular pairing is ADHD nerd and broody guy, right? Okay, so it's been fun, and I'm starting to like them again, so that's nice. Like I said, that comes out June 20th. And then on July 25th, I am also dually writing, which is something I hardly ever do. But my with this book being pushed back, I hadn't started my Subpar Hero story, which is called In the Nick of Time. And I'm having, like everyone else so far, at least that I know of, having a great time writing it. Like, it is so freeing. It is just like this. I don't have to follow any rules because it can be whatever other than, like decent grammar and all that kind of stuff. My character, Nick, can control little tiny pieces of time, which he, of course, doesn't even realize. And his counterpart is used to be the superhero long shot, but he's a pacifist. So he's given up his long shot, perfect vision, like killing machine thing, and he's also a super grump, so it's an age gap. Grump still got to save the world kind of thing. And like I said, it's been really fun, and that one comes out July 25th. And I will say that this I want to just say to everyone that it has been fun. Like I've done other shared worlds, and I'm in a couple more coming up this year. But this one is just fun. It's just silly. It's just irreverent, So the only thing that we've done that connects them to make it less stressful on everybody is we have one character that we kind of come in that's like Charlie and Charlie's Angels or whatever. So, it's April though.
Okay.
That's it.
JL.
So yeah, I'm on the pre-order train, but I have 2 that are connected. The first is Service Before Self, which is my first contemporary romance, because my paranormal romance series is like the same world as my urban fantasy series. So in the switch from traditional to indie publishing, I wasn't sure how time was going to work and dates and like getting all of that coordinated with my publishers who've been super amazing and helpful. And so I was like, well, I need something to fill the gap, so that I have, stuff coming out. And so the spouse helped me come up with the idea for a very non-traditional military romance, because we joke that so much of military romance is like SEALs and fighter pilots and badasses. And my grandfathers were in the military, my parents were in the military, my husband's in the military. None of them are badasses. None of the people I know in the military are badasses. And so this is a romance between a computer guy and a nurse in the Air Force. And it is called Service Before Self. And then connected to that, I'm part of the Limitless Love charity anthology that's coming out next Tuesday, June 11th. And the novella that I have in that is, it was like a gnat or something. The novella that I have in that is features two of the coworkers of the cyber guy and their best friend who comes home after leaving them for the Space Force. How dare he? And so that one has is MMM and then also has a romantic representation, which was a lot of fun to write.
Very good. Liv?
So I am straddling both worlds. My most recent release was The Accidental Necromancer, which was the leadoff book in the Subpar Hero series, which was a total blast to write. And like Chantal and Elle, I am thoroughly enjoying each book as it comes out. And my next book is actually the sequel to Necromancer, which will be part of the Carnival of Mysteries series. And that comes out I think we're pushed back to the end of July now, which is a good thing. We're still sort of in process here, but it seems like it's all buttoned up. And let's see, The Accidental Necromancer features a character who was actually a side character in the Richmond Vampire. So eventually it's going to be this trio of linked books that can't really be called a series because but there are various shared elements, and like the necromancer goes out for a run and accidentally reanimates roadkill. And the hero, one of the heroes in Micah in the Carnival of Mystery Stories, which is the title of which is The Villain Who Wasn't, and it's because he is the big bad in Necromancer, and then in Villain he proves himself to be actually not nearly as bad as all that. So, and it's been a hoot to work on both. I've been reading through the Carnival of Mystery Stories and they're all fantastic. And I'm excited to be part of both worlds.
Awesome. Arian?
So this is really bad, but against my better judgment, I spent last 6 months rewriting my first series into a first-person view because I needed to write the fourth book and I could not write the fourth book without doing that. So I actually have 2 books on pre-order for rewrite of the first series, and I'm really crossing my fingers that I will get to work on the fourth book later this year. So basically I think they're all paranormal. It's set in a super secret organization with people with superpowers and some ancient weird non-human beings who influence them. So lots of romance, lots of accidental travel in time, and possibly some vampire-like characters and like just everything, and some set in foreign country. So anyway, very
Nice.
excited.
BJ?
My last book's just a regular male-female romance, but anyway, honestly came out back in 2022 on my birthday, August 19th. So it's basically the lead female is the cousin of the guy in my debut novel, Stricken, and she comes out here to get away from her grandfather, who is pretty archaic. He thinks that a woman's place is in the kitchen, popping out babies galore. Like it's a Siksika Blackfoot family, because I'm part Indigenous, and the main characters of this particular series are Indigenous. So I kind of wanted to toss out that this is an indigiqueer, and June is also National Indigenous History Month here in Canada. So so for me, it's like all combined in one. It's fun. Anyway, Dana comes out here to get away from her grandfather. She wants to just move here and just be herself, because she can't be herself out in Alberta. While she's here, she meets this guy named Avery, who is a Canadian, French Canadian, and from the Nova Scotia, New Brunswick area. So she meets him. They start talking and hanging out. Next thing you know, they're dating, and he reveals that he's trans, doesn't fizz her, and it's a whirlwind romance on the Bay of Fundy. And I'm just trying to think. It's been a while since I've reread it. He's a shop owner, she's a photographer, and eventually she gets kicked out of the family. The only ones that really accept her are her cousins Joshua and her cousin Ewan in Stricken, and Ewan's parents, and his kids too. So but they appear in the next, not the one that just came out in May, but they'll be in Feathered Tartan 5. Honestly, it's Feathered Tartan 3, the third book in the series. Stricken is book 1, and there's Sweet Child of Mine in between. So, and I hope to get a sapphic story sometime soon. MM's, I'm too scared to try MM right now. So sapphic, I think, is more my thing.
Well, I've got a couple of things coming up. In my Deadly Curiosities series, which is written under my Gail name, Tegan Anthony, in the newest book, Tapestry, are finally getting married. It has been a long haul, and there have been some bumps along the way, but we finally get to see Tegan Anthony get married. And of course, there's all sort of drama with that. It's set in Charleston, South Carolina, so the drama is not with either with Teague's family or with Anthony's. The drama is that St. Philip's Church, this is real, was Episcopalian and changed to Anglican so that it didn't have to have gay marriage or gay clergy. So in my book, Anthony's wealthy family pulls their considerable endowment and said, well, if my son can't get married there, you don't need our money. And so that's, now they deal with where else to have the wedding and shenanigans like that. And in the meantime, we're dealing with the paranormal mystery. I've got a new shifter romance that is male shifter romance that is almost ready to go out, and that is in the Fox Hollow series. Fox Hollow is a haven for misfit shifters and psychics in the Adirondacks. And this is a moose shifter and a psychic null. So it was a blast writing a moose shifter, because my shifters all can hear their animal side in their minds, even when he had to pick the noisiest toy. Just a second, baby. Which is a moose. So there's an ongoing dialogue with their animal side, and his moose is just sort of ridiculous. And then I'm in Carnival of Mysteries. That is going to pick up with one of the characters that we saw in my book with the first series, Drake, who goes on to have a bigger adventure of his own in the second book. And then I'm also in the Subpar Heroes, and this one's going to be fun. It is a guy who has clairgaustience, which is the psychic ability to see to forecast the future by taste. So there you go. And his partner, his love interest, is a Belgian Malinois shifter who is also a craft brewer, and hijinks ensue. So I'm really looking forward to those books and having all that come out. But last question before we go around, tell everybody where to find us. Give us 2 or 3 of your favorite tropes. What do you like to write? What kind of tropes do you like to read? What kind of tropes do you like to write? Let's keep it to 2 or 3 just because we have a lot of people to go through. Jamie?
Enemies to lovers, classic, love it. Second chance romances, love those. Give a third one. You know what? Go ahead, pass. Those are just like there's lots of other things, and I'll ramble if I go on too long. But start with those 2.
Okay.
And I want to give people other things to say. You know, can't just steal everything.
You can't have all the tropes yourself.
I can, but I'm polite.
Got to share
You
them.
can share.
Yes, exactly.
Ro?
I don't know that I have a favorite that I like to read. There's some that I will not read just because as a former teacher, cannot do teacher-student romance. So like that's a no. But I tend to write a lot of hurt comfort, a lot of grumpy sunshine, and recently age gap, which is interesting. So I don't know what that says about me. But there's just something that appeals to me of having 2 people that are at different parts of their lives and they find a way to connect with each other. So
Okay. Chantal?
I love a friends to lovers, and a lot of what I write is like around found family. So I just really like that. And I mean, honestly, you know what? Give me whatever. I'm gonna read, like, you know, give it all to me. I'm reading it. I'm not picky.
Okay. Elle?
Ooh, I think most people probably know I like writing grumpy sunshine. Like I can't help it. I think it's my natural personality. I'm not necessarily grumpy, but you know, I can be. And they're also usually caffeine deprived. That like is a theme in my books. I definitely like age gap too, but I definitely kind of keep it. I never have written a really big age gap. Probably the biggest one I've written is like 18 or 20 years. I don't know. I just feel kind of weird going past that. As far as reading, I'll read almost anything, but there probably should be a dead body in it. I'm just gonna say that's I can't help it. It's what I like.
I was
I'm
going to
with
bring
you
up
on
the
that.
dead body thing if you didn't.
Jaya?
I love writing idiots in love because
Oh, yes.
sometimes people just need to get over themselves. And usually it takes a village to make them not be dumb and see what's in front of them. And so then I get to write really fun secondary characters who either are also getting in the way or are giving much deserved smacks up beside the head. In terms of reading, I love enemies to lovers because I love the idea that people falling in love after they've seen each other at their very worst, and then falling in love despite that. And then the other trope that I'm really into is not necessarily kink romance, but non-traditional like or unexpected power dynamics within that. So like trope reversal stuff, like older sub, younger dom, stuff like that. Just basically anything unexpected because that's what I like to write, and so that's what I like to read.
Okay. Liv?
Well, vampires sort of come with age gap and opposites attract built in. So I got to go with those 2. I also seem to write a lot of like sort of vacation romance, and if not vacation, at least we've got a deadline here. We got to get, like, it's not like necessarily like we're going on a cruise together, but you know, there's something about the relationship that they have a deadline where one is leaving and they have to sort it out. That seems to be something that turns up in my books, whether I want it to be there or not. And to read, I know that I don't like the trope where somebody comes to a small town or to a company and their ulterior motive is to close down the hospital that the love interest is running, or, you know, close down the business and that kind of conflict I really don't like. And other than that, I'll probably read much about it, just about anything. The teacher student thing makes me squishy. Don't know that I would do that. Or the what you call it, where prison, like a prison guard falls for a prisoner, like no,
Yeah.
don't do
Yeah.
that. And
Those
other
are the
thing I
not
just
good
thought of-
power dynamics.
yeah, no, I don't.
Exactly.
And pretty much anything I know you asked what do you like. I'm telling you what I don't like. Anything set in a hospital, they're probably gonna fuck it up. And so I don't go there.
Okay, Arian?
I seem to write faded romance. Must be really sappy. And all my characters are kind of, well, half of them are not human, which means there's like huge age gap, like thousands of years sometimes. So that's sort of what I end up with. And a lot of nerd, clueless, lost person finding, accidentally fall into love kind of thing. What I like to read, I actually like all paranormal queer romance, it seems like. I have problem with not great power dynamics, so I will start reading it and I have to stop because it kind of triggers me. But I love them all. Bring it on.
Okay, VJ.
I like second chance romances. I also like friends to lovers. Age gap is okay, but I don't like a huge age gap. The biggest ones I have in my story are like 12 years, and that's in 2 books. I'm not really one for sweet romances or step parent or step sibling kind of thing. Those just don't appeal to me. I like paranormal horror too. I have one out, so yeah. Writing, I mostly write contemporary romances set here in Nova Scotia because there's not many stories set here in the romance market. It's such a beautiful province. Why not use it as a backdrop? That's the reason why I like writing. And yeah, interracial, because I'm Indigenous and I love men of color. I think they are just the best thing on the planet. So, and I also love single parents. So, and I think that's too many tropes, but so I'm going to shut up now.
I love Hurt Comfort. It is just, I've swooned over that from the very earliest days. Just give me those, you know, dire moments and the confessions of love. And I just eat that with a spoon. I also like Friends to Lovers. I think that's just a very natural progression. All of my stuff is paranormal. All of it has a mystery or some sort of monster hunting in it. So I don't know that those couple of things are tropes, but those are definitely the settings. Everything I like to read has paranormal monsters and mystery in it. So, you know, what I write doesn't fall very far from what I read. So we have a little bit of time left. I want to go around and let everybody say where people can find you online. Jamie?
Simple enough. Basically look for JB Garner in most places. JB Garner Writes on most social media. Also, my website is jbgarnerwrites.com. You can get links to all of my books, all the stuff that's coming up, and so on.
Very good. Ro?
I am getting a new website in the next week. Yay, we've been working on it forever. There's been all kinds of stuff. So it's the same that it is now. It's rlmerrillauthor.com. And I'm at the socials, RL Merrill Author, TikTok at a 1342 at the end. Having a fun time over there. I don't think I've quite found my people, but I found some cool people. And so my algorithm is really bizarre, but that's okay. Uh, so yeah, I can't wait for my new website to go live. It'll happen in the next week.
Very good. Chantal.
I can be found at chantalmaire.com and on Instagram and Facebook on with Chantal Maire. I am on TikTok, but I'm not really. I mean, like I'm there, but I don't really. It overwhelms me. So it's just Instagram and Facebook and my website. And I have to say, JL, I am now, did you say idiots to lovers? Like that's my new
That's one
favorite
of my
trope
favorite.
now.
Yes.
Like
I love
that-
it so much.
right now, I'm like, oh my God, that's my favorite trope now. So yeah, I'm all about the idiots to lovers. Thank you for that.
Elle, how about you?
Hey, you can find me on lkeaton.com. That's my website. I'm on Facebook. I have a personal Elle Keaton page, and I also have, my regular, like the business Facebook side. If that's where a person would prefer to hook up, that's hook up. Haha. I also I'm on Instagram. The same Elle Keaton author it might be. I'm not really sure. It doesn't matter, but I think I'm the only Elle Keaton. It's Keaton. I'm on TikTok every once in a while. I just get overwhelmed, and I am actually on Threads as Elle Keaton, which is kind of a fun, like, I don't know, I wasn't sure at first, and I've been kind of getting on there more, and mostly because it's a fun place to talk. So there you go. That's where you can find me. Website's best though.
Okay, JL.
JLGribble.com has links to all of my social medias, including Threads, which I just started trying to be more active on. I'm not on TikTok because, like I said, my spouse is in the military, so that's my excuse to not go anywhere near it, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, the website has all the socials. It's where you can sign up for my mailing list, and it's also where I have my blog. I had to scale back the book reviews finally. Something had to go if I was going to write as much as I want to, but I promise that there will still be at least one monthly roundup of 5-star reviews that I've read in the past month. So, but there's an archive of like over 1,000 reviews on there, so you can find pretty much anything if you search for author or genre.
Okay, Liv.
I am on my website, liverancourt.com. I'm on Facebook and Threads and TikTok and Instagram under some combination of live.rancourt, something like that. Threads is cool because it's like the fun parts of the Bird app without actually being the Bird app. And I was very determined to make TikTok work for me. And then after about 1.5 years, I decided, I might just be too old for this shit. So I'm less on TikTok than I used to be. But so mostly Facebook or my website will get you most places.
All right, Arian.
So I think all the links are on arianwilliamsauthor.com. I'm supposedly on social media, but my real life has intruded, and if you email me, I will answer, but there's no guarantee I will answer anything else. So apologies, but please go to the website. Everything is on there.
Okay, and BJ.
I'm on Ecstasy Books, Decadent Publishing, Threads, although I'm not on there very much. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I've got page and a personal profile. I've got VJ Allison art page. I am one of the founding members of a multi-author newsletter called Scribes Tribune. I'm the tech person for it. We have a website, Scribes Tribune at wordpress.com or something like that. Just look for Scribes Tribune. Goodness, I just recently joined the art site called Kara, Kara. I don't have anything up there yet, but I hope to soon. Oh goodness, and I'm in the middle of, I'm still building my website, so I don't know when that'll be up. I'm also on X, Twitter, whatever, the bird site, whatever you want to call it. Oh my goodness, I'm on so many social media, I've lost track. BookBub. I'm on Amazon. Just do a search for VJ Allison, you'll find me.
Okay. And I'm pretty easy to find at gailzmartin.com, morganbrice.com. If you spell those right, you'll find me on all the major social media. I'm mostly on Facebook, but I'm everywhere else relatively regularly. And of course, Amazon and all the book sites. Well, thank you so much for a wonderful discussion. Happy Pride Month to everybody. And thank you to our wonderful authors. Thanks to all of you for watching and listening. There will be more romance coming up on Continual, so we'll see you online.
Thank